It's Carers Week. What do you want the world at large to know about carers and what they go through?
Being a carer does not mean that you're some amazing benevolent person who just is completely self-sacrificing and never gets angry. I get so pissed off all the time. So
You could get away with that.
okay. It's hard. It's really hard and I'm so tired. But you do it because you love them. Yeah.
I think we need to recognise that there are people who are doing these caring roles. It's different for everybody. Everyone's got a different story. People experience that differently. And I've had some really, really hard days, but they won't be anywhere near the really, really hard days that other people have had. But it's valid because they were my hard days. And so it's, anyway.
But it's all perspective, isn't it?
It is all perspective. Yeah. And, so I've had some bad days, especially when Andrew was little. I was projecting to the future and projecting negatively. And this is what it's going to be like for him. Oh dear, instead of just getting on with it.
You know, we're people too, and then when people are staring when you're out, because the trouble is, me, it looks normal to look at, and sometimes people think that children are misbehaving. So if it does look a little bit different or really out there, there's something else behind it, and those people looking after them, it is a big thing, taking people out in public. So it'd be nice even, to smile. When people smile at me, that's, it's sort of like a nod, you're doing a good job.
Yeah, that's right. What would you change about the typical caring experience if you could?
If I could change anything, I wouldn't start until 9:30 in the morning, and I would knock off at 4 o'clock. That's what I would change. And I'd get paid for it. Absolutely. Yeah, that'd be good too.
It's probably more to do with my personality than anything. I have a wonderful husband who I talk out a lot of things with, but I probably should have sought out some help early on just to try and sort out my feelings about it all. But I don't do that.
You're a get in and get it done person.
That's right. Yeah. And I think in those days you didn't do that very much at all. So I have sought out help a couple of times in my life just to sort out my own thoughts, and that's been really helpful.
That's the thing, there is nothing easy about being a carer. I mean, it is an important job. These people really need you, just by learning more, getting the right help. I don't think that's a real easy answer. Like, there's no real easy answer. Because, the carers, you're doing it because there is a reason. You can't change.
No, you can't change it. You can't wave a magic wand. What's been a typical worst day of being a carer?
Andrew was born with a hole in his heart and had to have surgery to repair that. And the doctor I went to, the GP, said, "No, we need to find a surgeon who'll operate on Andrew." I said, "What do you mean?" "We need to find someone who'll operate on someone with Down syndrome." I just yeah, really. And we did. We found the most wonderful, wonderful person in Dr. Mark O'Brien up at Prince Charles Hospital. We went to him and his room was filled with photographs of people with Down syndrome that he'd helped. Could you imagine that? Imagine that these days, doctors would be struck off the registers if that was known. I said, "What do you mean?" Yeah. And he just said, "Well, doctors who will operate on people with Down syndrome." And so that wasn't a good time.
Worst day of being a carer is when you have to go do all the appointments and they don't want to go. When you're taking them from one place to the next, and you're going over and over and over again all the kids' deficiencies, and that's one of the hardest days. Or the day when you have to take them to hospital because you just know that you can't do it anymore and you can no longer safely provide care for you. That's probably the hardest days. Yeah.
So we went for a swim. It was a saltwater pool. I didn't know that, and she drank a bit of water. So we came home. Lucky we were in the bathroom, and you know what salt water does to the body. It goes right through, so you could imagine a whole bathroom coated in nice stuff.
What about the best day?
The best days are when they sleep in. And the best days are when everyone's getting along and we have music playing and the dogs are happy and the chickens are crowing and we're getting eggs and we're walking together and we're picking lemons off the tree. That's what we did that the other day. We went and picked lemons off the tree in our neighbour's yard, and it was so much fun. Yeah. And that's the best day.
Anytime he sort of achieved a milestone, in that he, from when he was tiny, you know, he walked, brilliant. But Andrew is a good person, and he knows he's a good person, and that I think is what I like to see in him. When I can see that lovely side of him come out, he's very kind, and when I see that kindness come out of him, that's brilliant. So he's worked, and I think his teachers worked a lot with him, working on the sort of person he was, not what he could achieve, what he couldn't achieve. I remember one time, I think Mum was losing it a bit, it's me, and Andrew was sitting very peaceably, and he said, "I'm sorry you're feeling frustrated, Mum."
Oh, actually, there's been a recent one. So my oldest daughter's gone to uni and we do a little FaceTime every weekend. And Mia looked at my other daughter, Kiara, and said, "I want you home." So she put a whole sentence together. So, you know, we might have 100 words that she uses, and that was the first time she put a sentence together. So it's all those little things.
How has being a carer changed you?
I think it's made me more compassionate. I think it's made me a kinder person. I think it's made me very organised, and I think it's made me a really good advocate. Yeah.
I think I'm probably more patient because I have to wait. We have to wait. I think I'm more caring. I hope I'm more caring. Not just for my own family, that's important to me. Probably being satisfied with what I've got. Yeah. Just sort of, okay, Andrew has Down syndrome, or lives with Down syndrome. Really? Well, that's not too bad. No, right, in our experience, that's not too bad. And as I said earlier, there are times that I wished it was different for him. Not necessarily for me. I did wish it different for me in those first few months. Yep. But I only wish it different so Andrew doesn't have to suffer. But, you know, that's life, isn't it? It's Absolutely. Not, we all have to go through hard times. Yeah.
Oh, I think it broke me down, but it's built me back up to be a tougher person. Sort of normal day-to-day things don't worry me anymore, you know, that's all easy. Like you hear some mums in the playground and they might be a little thing, but a big thing to them, and I just sort of laugh, that's nothing.
That's right, come into my world.
Probably a lot more easygoing. Things that I thought were important aren't. So it brings you back down to ground, I think.
Absolutely.